So there is a lot to learn, a lot to emulate, and there's a lot which we can't emulate at all. We'll have to come up with our own mechanisms, with our own sort of synergies, uh, and so on and so forth. What I believe is, let us take out from our minds that there will be a SpaceX in India, because there's always a case, right? People ask a lot that, okay, who's next India's Elon Musk? No, there can't be an India's Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a purely American phenomenon. You can't have somebody like that here in India. But does that mean that there is no effort towards privatization? Yes, there is enough effort towards privatization. Many of our private space companies are hardly 10 years old. And if you look at the scales, the time scales in which human spaceflight is achieved, say by 2040s, 2047, when you would eventually have the space station up there, many of these Indian space companies would have matured. All these, their technologies would have matured. They would have contributed with some system, subsystem, component, subcomponent, uh, while building the space station or while operating the space station. So there would be a space segment of it, there would be a ground segment of it. All of them will be contributing to it. So as I said, just the way it takes a whole village there in my earlier answer, again over here it takes a whole village. It would take the whole ecosystem to ensure that human spaceflight component of the Indian space program is a big success. Just recently, you had the small satellite launch vehicle being caught with Hindustan Aeronautics Limited winning the bid for constructing it commercially. Similarly, your Polar satellite launch vehicle would get uh, privately built, and thereafter there is something known as the next generation vehicle, the NGV. So the next generation launch vehicle would also be used for taking our Indian astronauts from Earth to space. And then you would have the LVM-3, which is the proven one right now, which is now getting prepared for the Gaganyaan mission. That too would eventually get privatized, privately built. And it's not the case that there's no private sector contribution today. Many of the components that go into a LVM-3, PSLV, SSLV are built by the private sector. The whole of government or a whole of industry or a whole of ecosystem approach that is beginning to develop here in the country. And it is just a matter of time where some of these missions that we have been planning for very long are realized, and we see their spectacular launches with our own eyes, and we celebrate them. So it's going to happen very soon.
जब अपनी हिफाजत की हो बात, तो एक जरूरी बात रखना याद कि अपनी हिफाजत के लिए अपनी ही होनी चाहिए आंख और होने चाहिए अपने ही हाथ। हिफाजत का हमारा ख्याल अमन का है, मां जैसे बड़े मन का है। हो आसमां, जमीन या हो समंदर, हर तरह की हिफाजत मिलती है इसके दामन के अंदर। हिफाजत की हिफाजत में, अदानी डिफेंस एंड एरोस्पेस।